Welcome to Short Quest, Long Rest, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast using 5th edition rules and a dash of homebrew. My name is Josie, your dungeon master and bane of adventurers everywhere. Well, perhaps not everywhere, but at least at this virtual table. Our band of intrepid heroes will be playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. But they will not be starting within the Dale. No, I'm taking them through James Hayek's Icewind Mail, an introduction to the module from D&D Beyond's Encounter of the Week series. If you've never read them before, I can't recommend them enough. James's encounters have set a standard I hope to emulate in my own work. Regarding our platform, this adventure uses Foundry Virtual Tabletop, a relative newcomer on the scene. Credit where credit is due, Foundry's been very good to our little group. We hope you enjoy the coming adventure and come to love this team as I do. I won't keep you from the action any longer. Grab a drink, slip on those headphones, and ready those dice. It's time to play some Dungeons & Dragons. Alright, my lads. Allow me to first introduce you to the first in a series that we'll be doing leading up to the release of Icewind Dale. I've decided that we're going to be doing the Icewind Mail series from D&D Beyond.
How do you spell that?
Oh, Jesus.
Icewind Mail, as in, you are going to be... You ever seen the movie The Postman?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
God, yes.
I do have a running theory, though, that every Kevin Costner movie would be better without Kevin Costner in it. But
How dare you?
We've had this discussion.
No. I know we have, and I'm right.
You are
But
not
anyways,
right.
I am absolutely right.
Bull Durham
Kevin
is not
Costner-
better without Costner.
Kevin
actually
Costner is
though.
a
It's not.
national treasure. How dare you?
How dare you?
He is a great writer. He's a great director. He is a shit actor. I'm sorry. He is.
All right.
But
Let's not go
anyways,
down this
moving
road.
Yes.
So, our story begins in the city of Luskan, known as the City of Sails, a port city on what is regarded the very fringes of civilization in the world of Faerun. We, the players, know better because further north still is the icy land of Icewind Dale, and a collection of small settlements known as 10 Towns. I imagine you'd be able to guess that 10 Towns is thus called because there are 10 towns within it.
Oh.
Ah,
okay.
That tracks.
yes.
That tracks.
That's a twist. I wasn't expecting that. But okay. That's like Shyamalan twist, but moving on.
You fine gentlemen have been recently taken on, looking for work when you arrive in the city of Luskan, this very large port city, by a company calling itself the Luskar Deliverers. Early one morning, you are collected in their main warehouse on the north bank of the river Mirar here in Luskan, to be given marching orders by your commander, the Parcel Master Lennart Bask, a sharply dressed half-orc with bright eyes, a broad physique, and an impeccably groomed mustache. We're going to take you to Luskan. Hey, it loaded properly! So I'm actually going to drop you guys where you are currently meeting this fine gentleman.
There we go. Beautiful.
Let me pull up this journal entry and show it to the players.
Ooh.
Upon entering the offices, each of you brand new members, bearing a new mark on your sleeve, a sort of corded knot of bright colors to identify you as members of the Luscar Deliverers. You meet with the, again, as I said, half-orc Lennart Bask, who brings you into an office above the main warehouse where people are kind of shuffling around, tying bundles of parcels together to be sent out on the ships on the opposite end of the city. And upon closing the door, heads behind his desk, settles into a chair to say, brand new members of the Luscar Deliverers, I am proud to announce that your first adventure is about to begin. He is your mercenary company that you have joined. Continues, we've been contacted by a number of people throughout Luskan, all of whom have deliveries bound for the north. Your fellows are currently outfitting a ship to take you northward called the Icebreaker. I have assembled a map of this city and a list of people with packages for you to find. They shall pay you well in advance, and you shall be paid again when your deliveries are completed. Be dressed in armor and hold weapons, my friends. Your journey will be dangerous, but even this city of Luskan is not a safe harbor. Be ready. Look to this map and your list. Gather 3 of these packages. The rest shall be gathered and delivered to the Icebreaker by other members of the Deliverers. Safe travels, my friends. And as he concludes, he being a busy man, stands to go and oversee some of the work going on in the warehouse, leaving you with a map and a list of names. Allow me to pull that up. In the meantime, I would like you to introduce yourselves, give an idea of what everyone who has been brought together as new members of the Deliverers looks like.
Who wants to begin?
I got it. So, the name is Rian Stormlight, and I'm a half-elf gentleman with red, wild hair, and he's average height, nothing crazy special, pretty well athletic, but isn't anything, crazy, but he's clean shaven, likes to keep himself clean shaven, and is pretty immaculate as far as his dress goes. He wears a scale mail, and it's mostly leather bound and everything, and has kind of a demeanor of that he's weary of people around him, just in case. He's always kind of not on edge or paranoid, but kind of always got his eyes open and playing it a little close to the chest.
So I will be playing Felgrin Falsefey, but he goes by Grin. He's average height, I'd say 5'9", 5'10", pretty lithe. He keeps himself well maintained. That much is obvious. His hair is usually back in a styled, windswept kind of way. And the pattern kind of matches his smallish horns, which kind of lay flat against his head. He never lets his facial hair get past the point of stubble. And
more or less.
Yeah, as one who presents himself as successful in life, he dresses to match. Usually in the form of a kind of a whitish dress shirt, well-fitted black pants, a dark cloak, and a plum-colored striped vest. And throughout that whole kind of introduction, he could not help but look a little bored, kind of staring down at his claws a little while the man spoke. Oh, and he does have kind of peculiar markings. His arms are covered up, but they kind of creep up onto his neck from the collar of his shirt, and they're not tattoos. They're kind of swirling, almost kind of floral markings that seem to just be a part of his skin. And that's about it.
Huh. Now it's my turn.
It was your turn.
I am playing Krellic Steelforge. Stands about a normal height for a dwarf. A little more stout than usual. Dark red hair with a peculiar look in his eye, he's not all there. No visible scars, always in armor. beaten up shield on his back. Pretty beaten up. He's seen better days. But for the most part, he's pretty jovial. Doesn't let much get him down.
Right on. He looks like he's got a few stories.
Yes. I think I said I put him at about 186 years old.
Woo!
Oh, jeez.
Well, I only did that because dwarves said lived
He's
to
an
be
older
about
gentleman.
350. And that's about it.
Alrighty. So, while you guys were making your introductions, I've provided a list of names. People that you're supposed to be picking up packages from in order to bring them to the icebreaker and start your journey northward. Of these names, which I'll now read for the sake of the audio, we have Macath the Crimson, Felrecht Lafine, Dragonbait, Rule, Vanifer, and Nesnar the Black Spider. Yes. Supposedly some shady characters in the mix. Which brings me to mind, while you're all sitting here kind of parceling over the map, getting a feel of one another in the small cramped office room, I would ask which of these names most intrigues you in order to go and pick up a parcel from them. Who would you guys like to see about visiting first?
From Felgren's perspective, it would be Macath the Crimson.
Macath the Crimson. Interesting. I was gonna say Dragonbait speaks to me, so...
I wonder
None of
why.
them speak to him too much. He just knows he doesn't want to go to the Black Spider.
That's fair.
So, actually, that does bring up an interesting point. Rion, you have a companion, don't you, that you did not introduce?
I do have a companion I did not introduce. I have...
And where are they currently?
See, I've wrestled with this a little bit, and I have to imagine he's got like a rucksack that he has to keep her in for the most part when he does meets like this. Like, essentially, because I just can't imagine he keeps her out and available to be seen all the time.
I think there's a time limit on that. For how long she'll tolerate that.
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting because, you set out early this morning from the place that you've been staying for a while to come and meet your new employer. And for a while, Miri has been quiet. But as your new employer gets up and decides to leave the room so you guys can deliberate over where to pick up parcels first, a small head comes snaking out of the rucksack, takes a breath of fresh air, and then, pressing her small lizardy head to your ear, goes, I thought he'd never leave.
It's okay.
Do I have to stay in here?
Yeah, you can come out for a little bit. Just be ready to get back in. I just, it's a weird world out there, and I don't want to put you in any danger. So come on out and stretch your wings a little bit. It's okay. Dear. Come
So,
on.
have me or Grin ever
Alright.
seen this thing pop out of that rucksack before?
This is the first time you gentlemen are meeting, so while you are sitting here deliberating over this map, one of the other gentlemen in the room, the half-elf Rian, seems to be speaking quietly to someone over his shoulder. You notice the rucksack over his shoulder moving, and a small bronze creature with brilliant scales, each as large as a pinky finger, comes crawling over his shoulder. Her tail wraps around his neck, and with a clawed forelimb kind of grips his ear, and leans forward with a sinuous neck to examine the map alongside you.
I think
Okay.
Corinne would kind of look up from the map, look back down, and do like a double take.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait,
don't freak
wait,
out.
what?
Right. So, this is Miri. I figure if we're going to be... Yeah, say hello, Miri. I figure if we're going to be working together, you ought to know that this is this is my companion, I guess, as we might call it. I guess she'd be kind of like my daughter. Like, he's kind of shrugging his shoulders, like his hands up, like,
It's really funny because as you shrug, she kind of like has to spread out her wings to balance a little.
Nice. So, if you guys could be like the smallest bit understanding in this situation and not freak out.
Understanding is my middle name.
Wait a minute, the dragon's your daughter?
Well, I'm going to say that's not 100% wrong. But yeah, it's a long story, and we can get into it another time. How about we look at that map?
Quick question, if I may, Rian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I realize that this might be a sensitive subject for the little one. You might want to cover her ear holes.
No, anything you say to me, you can say in front of her.
Okay.
So
Is her mother dead? Because if she's not, and forgive me for my caution, I might want to get very far away from you.
Yeah. Well, so I think, like, outside of character, I think Rian knows that the mother's not, but has told her that she is, probably.
Yeah, he's hitting the hard hitting questions.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's good to get this all completely worked out. I'm going to say
We established that you recovered the egg at the moment of hatching while you were working as a town guard in the city of Waterdeep.
Yep.
As for the status of the mother, I am keeping that one in my pocket.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, you know what? Because we did establish that that there is a bronze dragon in the Bay of Waterdeep, but that doesn't mean that's where this dragon came from. So he wouldn't know that 100%. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's what he would say. He would tell her that her mother has passed, but he doesn't know himself. It's just something that he said to alleviate the situation, like essentially like to not raise any more questions so that she would just listen to him as her caregiver. So, and that can cause some stuff later on if necessary.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So he would turn to Grin and be like, "Yes, unfortunately, her mother did pass. I recovered her."
In the middle of your sentence, you start smiling, just broadly.
Be like, Rian kind of like cocks his head a little bit and like that. Oof, like just that grin being like.
Yeah, it is predatory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Well, it seems like you were at the right place at the right time. Just like I am right now.
Yeah.
We
seem
will
to be at the right place a lot.
We will have to talk later.
We'll see.
Yeah, Miri just sees Felgrin smiling and gives the draconic approximation of a smile in return.
Yeah.
And then leans over to say to Rian, he seems really nice.
Yeah, and he kind of lean and be like, "Well, people seem a lot of ways sometimes. Just be careful, my dear."
Anyway, perhaps we should look at this map.
Aye, yes. Let's take a look at the map. Let's see what we can find. So we got a list of names. We got a map. What are you interested in as far as who should we go after first?
I think Krellick's more zoned in on the dragon right now. Not even paying attention to the map anymore. Just kind of in awe about it.
Yeah, he's like starts snapping. He's like, "Eyes up here, big guy." Or little guy.
This Lacath the Crimson sounds like a kindred spirit.
Yes, and that might be the reason why it gives me the jeebies before I even want to go there. But,
that's offensive.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be kindly, but perhaps, I mean, I guess if we're going to start somewhere, the top of the list ain't bad.
My thoughts exactly.
All right.
What list?
So why don't you good people give me a intelligence check to recall some information about this person? You know, you would have only been in town for a few days, but a couple of these are pretty well-known names about town. Rumors would have spread.
Oh, rocking it.
A 9.
Natty 18.
Alrighty.
Krell,
Wait.
what you got for...
Oh,
nice, Natty 17. Oh, you got -1. Holy shit, we are not an intelligent group. I was wondering. I was like, as soon as mine was like +0, and I looked at the next one, I was like, oh, +0, and I was like, oh shit, I can't imagine Krellick's rocking a +1 or 2.
So, for the sake of the recording, Rian rolled an 18 with no modifier. Felgrin rolled a 9 with no modifier. And Krellick rolled a 17 with no modifier. Well, no, sorry.
No,
Correction.
-1. So
A -1 modifier.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay, buddy. That's why we put you in the front.
Well, that's all right, because the pair of you, I should say Krellick and Rian, this name does strike you as familiar. You had heard that there was a tiefling mage that has currently been residing for a while in the host tower of the Arcane. You would know that to be in the middle of the bay.
Oh,
There
okay.
is quite a distance to travel before you get there, but it's a well-known location here within the city. In fact,
Okay.
it's almost a feature as it sits directly in the mouth of the harbor.
Yeah, I think you'd probably reflect on that to them.
Now that's
well-
a place I'd like to visit. Wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, you seem to be a sorceress type with being a tiefling and all, and I believe, if I remember correctly, Makath being a tiefling, we said wizard, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be like,
A wizard,
maybe
eh?
you guys will get along. This will make it, might make it easy, actually. So, I mean, if anybody, I guess that might be a good place to start. At least you got something in common with them.
Now, if I change information on a journal entry that I've shown you guys, do you see it when it changes?
Change for
I
me.
did.
Yes.
Great. That is exactly what I needed. So here's an idea of where you would be able to find this person. You know they are a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, and could typically be found studying in the ground floor dining commons of the host tower.
So that's yeah, I've heard he's been staying over at the Arcane Brotherhood's the host tower of the Arcane. So I guess we could make our way over there and get this started.
He kind of rolls up the map. I tried my hand at joining the Brotherhood, you know.
Oh, you did, eh?
Mhm.
How'd that go?
They didn't seem interested. I can't imagine why.
Huh? Like he kind of like cocks his head and he's like, I mean, I imagine he would get a feel that you're probably the fact that you're not wearing a lot of weapons and stuff, that you are some type of sorcerer. But like he'd just kind of like, why would a sorcerer just not get in?
Yeah, I mean, as
Huh.
far as you know, all he has is the crossbow hanging from his hip.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess I'm metaing a little bit though. He wouldn't just know you're a sorcerer,
Well,
but especially since I don't have to check magic yet. But
don't worry,
yeah,
he's not
so-
gonna hide it for long.
like, okay, well, I guess we could head there. We're just picking up packages, I guess. So this, I mean, shouldn't be much of a problem. I mean,
Yeah, when I joined the Luscar Deliverers, I was hoping it might be a little more fun than delivering packages.
easy money's easy money. Don't shake your head at it.
Never do.
Alright, let's just go to the tower and get it over with.
Hey, I'm with the dwarf on this one.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
You might want to put
So
your
then we
little
depart.
dragon away.
Might be
Yeah,
a good idea.
Oh, Miri. Yeah, that's a good call. Miri, back in the sock.
Gives you this almost, not quite disgusted, but annoyed
Yeah.
look. She understands the importance
Yeah.
of staying hidden, but very reluctantly crawls back into the rucksack,
felt-
and all you see is just that gleaming eye peeking out from under the flap.
Yeah, he kind of like, when he does, he like kind of leans in and says, I know it's not. I know it's not ideal. Just bear with me for a little while longer. We'll get this done. We'll get on a ship, and then I'll let you stretch your wings as much as you want.
She essentially gives a little draconic nod and then immediately starts sulking within the rucksack. So,
Poor thing.
takes you guys
I'm a
a,
bad dad.
let's see, city travel. About 40 minutes before you reach the bridge that takes you to the host tower of the Arcane. Arriving at the base of it, the tower itself that you see over the walls that guard the courtyard grows out of the ground like a crooked skeletal tree. It looks just as organic as it does artificial, this weird mixture of the two. Standing at the entrance is a brutish-looking guard with an athlete's build, wearing a leather skull cap. He glowers at the trio of you as you approach. What do you want?
Yeah, I think I'd glance to Grin and be like, and kind of nod towards him, be like, do your talking thing.
Oh, good. He just steps forward. We're here on business, sir.
What business?
Luscar Deliverers. He just kind of taps the armband.
Who are you here to see?
A Macath the Crimson.
As you say that name, you see this very brutish-looking individual kind of purse his lips, and he looks up to one side as if struggling to remember if there was somebody of that name inside.
You'll get there
And
eventually.
then a sly look spreads across his face, and he looks back at you. I don't know who you're talking about.
Really?
Come on now, let's just go.
I might be convinced to remember. It's really hard.
Yes. I'm sure thinking is very hard for you.
Yeah, he muttered to himself, like, yes, it does seem like it might be very hard for you to remember things.
So,
You have anything to help me with my memory?
I have a hammer.
I calm down there, buddy.
What?
No,
What? Hey, I was just saying.
Listen, what's your name?
I'm Ernest Guild.
Ernest. Great name. I have a feeling that if your superior were to learn that you kept us waiting or impeded upon our delivery, he would be not pleased.
Again, gets that pursed-lipped thinking look where he's glancing up to one side.
2
And-
hours later.
I would like you to roll me a persuasion check.
Nice.
Okay.
First persuade of the game. Oh, buddy. You had a +6.
Wow.
Well, a 12 might
Yep.
just be enough
What
for
I will
this guy.
say,
We'll see.
takes him a good minute before his eyes drift back down to you.
Jeopardy music.
He gives a
playing.
very slow nod. I think I might know where you can find Macath the Red.
Oh, good. And
He,
And then, like, wakes up
Very-
from sleeping.
very, very slowly, you can almost hear his tendons creaking as he turns to the gate and, grabs a ring of keys, which really only has, 4 keys on
Grin
them.
just throws his head back.
Kind of flips through his 4 keys and looks up at the lock in the gate, and then at the keys, and back at the gate.
Oh my god.
He holds up one, and then shakes his head and goes back to his 4 keys. And then eventually, does find the proper one, and sticking it into the gate unlocks it, and pushes it open, holding it with a meaty arm as he waits for you to enter.
Thank the gods. Yeah, Arian would just kind of shoulder past, just walk in as quick as possible, be like, oh, if the rest of this is going to be like this, just gods take me now, honestly.
You're a credit to guards everywhere, Ernest, he says as he walks past him.
He just walks past.
Make me a deception check with that one.
Oh, goodness. Hey, maybe I was being, not facetious.
Yeah, sure you are.
Alright, deception. 13.
As you enter, sort of last in the line of people heading into the host tower, and make this nopliment, you see Ernest's chest puffs out with a look of pride, as if ecstatic that he has done a good job this day. Slowly closes the gate behind you, and you do see him, take the time to lock it again. It seems that they keep relatively tight security around the host tower.
Oh, you are spare parts, aren't you, bud?
Finding yourselves in the inner courtyard, standing at the base of that teetering tower, that looms overhead like a massive tree. I'd like you to roll me an investigation check as you search the grounds for Macath the Crimson.
Hey.
Haha.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have so much fun with this team's low intelligence.
Yes, you are. God, we're gonna
Who
have
needs
to.
intelligence when you have a face like this?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some type of smart boy, friggin' Bizarre, to round out our party.
Or just roll rocks.
So,
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. Do druids have high intelligence?
Nope.
I don't know.
Wisdom?
Nope.
Sure don't.
What about clerics?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Never mind. We're good.
Uh-huh.
We'll just.
Yeah,
we'll
be
We're
fine.
doing it live.
yeah,
You'll be
exactly.
fine.
Fuck it, we're doing
Enhance
it
ability
live.
later. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
alrighty. So, Felgrin, you are the only person among the three that is not disoriented by the strange, half-organic, half-man-made feel to the place as you're kind of, traveling the halls and stopping to ask people, your winning smile, getting you through doors. You are eventually brought to the dining commons within the host tower of the Arcane. And amidst all the scholarly types that are sitting in quiet groups, over what seems to be a late breakfast or an early lunch, talking amongst themselves, you see a bright red tiefling, dressed in what appears to be a long set of robes. Underneath the cape that she wears, you can see a glint of mail, as in the armor. Seems to be off by herself, poring over a book that at this distance you can't quite make out. What are you guys doing?
I mean, yeah, he is not shy. He's just striding across the room.
Yep. I think Rian's always kind of a half step behind just to make sure he doesn't get into trouble.
Just hands in his pockets, striding across the room.
And he's just like, okay.
Yeah, I think we'll just be ready. Let him do all the talking.
Krellick's just got his hammer out, like, just glaring back and forth. Like, where are they coming from?
Alright. So, Felgrin, as you approach the table and you get a little closer, you see that the book she's poring over, though you cannot understand the words, the depiction appears to be of a dragon of some kind. More specifically, she seems to be closely reading a passage on, the entire page is filled with looks like a dragon's wing joint, as if she is studying the anatomy of said creature. And upon realizing that you are hovering over the table, Macath looks up and greets you with a wide smile, just this very over-eager excitement bubbling up out of her. Hi, what's your name? Here, sorry, I'm reading something here. Do you need something?
Fascinating creatures, aren't they?
Oh,
Aren't
yes,
they-
I could talk about them all
Aren't
day.
they, Rian? He just kind of looks at you.
Yeah, he just groans, be like, yes, they're very
eyes-
majestic.
That's funny.
It is funny, isn't it, Krellick?
You hear a muffled sound of approval from inside your pack. But,
It's like, shh.
when her eyes shoot over to you, Rian, there's almost a, fanatical fervor in her eyes on the subject of dragons. Well, I've been here studying them all morning, and, well, technically I've been studying them all year, but, today's study is, flight. Did you know different types of dragons have different types of wings, and you can identify them when they're flying overhead by the shape of their wings?
Honestly, I did not know that. That is something amazing.
Fascinating.
Oh yes, the gold dragons, they're very beautiful, and they have this sail-like wing structure that is very, very distinctive. And then you have, let's see, something like the green dragon is much more similar to what you would refer to as a bat. You look like you would know what a bat is.
What about
And she
the...
just,
looks like-
it seems to be going on and on and on with no sign of stopping.
He's like, hey, that's fascinating, really. But we are here on business. Kind of Luskar deliverer business.
Wink, wink.
You're the ones that are supposed to deliver my package.
That's right.
And seated beside her on the long bench is what appears to be a small metal box that she takes up and thrusts towards you with both hands. This is a draconic artifact, and I kind of need a friend in 10 towns to identify it for me.
Excellent. He kind of plucks it and hands it to Krellick, or at least tries to.
If it's fragile, you probably don't want me hanging on to it.
Hands it to Rian.
Now, no opening it. I have magically sealed it.
So he takes it and he goes to put it in the rucksack, and he just stops and just holds onto it instead, because he's pretty sure his dragon's gonna try to open it and figure it out, because they can't help themselves.
We wouldn't dare.
Yes. The three of us would never open it, ever.
And she seems to accept that and nods. And then, after a moment, slaps her forehead with the heel of her hand and reaches to her belt. I'm supposed to pay you a down payment for the delivery.
Oh, yes. Yes, we were told that it would be payment up front.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes her coin pouch and with a little shake, pulls open the cord that ties it shut and very carefully parcels out to each of you 5 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Alright.
My friend should actually have the other half of that by when you arrive and deliver it.
Nice. That's a fifth of the way to killing this dragon.
Did you say that in character?
God,
No, God, no. No. First of all, Rian is never going to kill this dragon. And secondly, that he wouldn't put her in danger.
So are we just adding that to a sheet now?
Yes, you can add that to your sheet now.
Macath,
Choice.
right?
Oh,
I will
yes.
have to come back and learn more about dragons from you.
Roll me a persuasion check on that one.
Nice.
Getting along.
Already flirting 5 seconds.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Holy
Shit.
crap.
That is a persuasive line.
That is a natty 18.
He's pouring on the
Yeah,
charm.
she sits up and she blinks very owlishly at you for a moment. And kind of looks sluggishly down at her book and then back at you. Oh, well, reaches around, starts curling her hair around a finger. If you, when you get back from 10 towns, I should still be here.
Looking forward to it.
Has this big shit-eating grin on her face as she goes back to reading, and completely absorbed in the book, seems to have completely forgotten your existence.
He'll turn on his
Nice.
heels and give the two of them a look and just stride past them.
Yeah, Rian just sigh. Oh, okay. So this is what it's going to be like.
Yes, it
Are
is.
you sure you're not a bard? You're not a bard, right?
Do you see a violin?
But bards don't have to be a violin, they can sing.
The good ones have
They
a
could-
violin.
I'm actually not going to argue with you on that one.
Well, at
Okay.
least he can do the talking.
That's true. Well, I can do the talking too. It's just he's just... never mind, fuck it. And he just
Can you guess
It's
what
not-
type
it's
of
not even worth-
dragon he wants to learn about?
Real shit.
Uh,
Yeah, he
All
just...
right. So you guys make your way back out towards the gatekeeper, Ernest, who very painstakingly, once he sees you through the bars of the gate that is, a part of the outer wall of this tower, he is a little quicker on finding the keys, and on seeing this, it almost occurs to you that he was probably fucking with you earlier.
great.
Nice.
Does put it into the gate, unlock it, pull it open, and stands there, again with that meaty arm outstretched, motioning for you to exit hastily so he can go back to loafing around.
You're doing the God's work there, buddy.
Bye-bye, Ernest.
Goodbye.
Ah, fine job, fine job.
Alrighty. So, that is one of your parcels picked up. Who next on the list interests you?
You mentioned a dragon bait, didn't you?
Yeah, name just caught my eye.
Any idea where we can find them?
I don't know, it's a good question. Want us to roll intelligence?
Yes, if everyone would give me another intelligence check.
Nice.
12.
Nope. 7.
No!
Dummy. Oh.
Did you say come on, dummy? Fucker.
So, as the three of you kind of put your heads together, really trying to recall if you've heard the name Dragonbait. Yeah, Dragonbait. It does not strike you that you've heard of this individual. Now, you could certainly ask around, see if somebody can guide you there, but it's not information you would recall right off.
They probably turn back to Ernie or Ernest. Like, Ernie, do you know a gentleman named Dragonbait by any chance?
Dragonbait?
Yeah, Dragonbait. You seem like the type that would know a Dragonbait.
Let's make a check for our boy here.
Okay, persuasion?
No. I'm going to
you're drawing. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, God.
He's doing
Yeah.
intelligence
Dear
check. Oh, no. he's gonna natty 20 it.
Let's see.
Wow.
14.
Hey, still outrolled all odds.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was wowing.
Yeah. That was a natty
stands-
16. Shit.
Prince, like, there's
Stands there
no
again.
way he knows.
Pursed lips,
Mhm.
looking up towards the sky out the corner of his eye. Seems to be a feature with him that when he is really putting his mind to it.
Rian is just slowly leaning in, like, slowly further, the longer he takes. Like, just like, come on, for God's sake, come on.
I don't know the name.
Okay, that's great. You have yourself a great day.
Well, hold on.
There was a weird lizard person in a tavern on the north bank. What was the name of the tavern? I don't know. I guess if you were gonna be asking about somebody named Dragonbait, you'd start there.
It's actually very helpful. We appreciate that, buddy.
Hey, that wasn't bad.
This is the part where you give me gold.
Pay the man.
Aye, solely fair.
Well, okay, I have... No, here's the thing. We're already on this side of the fence. And...
He's on the same side.
Yeah, I get it. But we can just, walk away.
Aye, but if you want to be a dick about it,
But I'm not trying to be a dick.
sounds to me you're kind of being dickish.
Fuck it, okay. And he flicks him a gold coin.
Ernest kind of fumbles the catch, kind of bounces from one hand to the other, and then kind of rubs it off on his shirt and then holds it up as if this man has any idea how to identify a fake coin from a real
Bites
one.
it.
Nice.
Takes a moment to bite on it. You can really see how when he bites on it, the strength of his arms is so great that he does indeed bend it a little between his teeth, but that seems to satisfy him. And he drops the bent coin into a purse on his waist.
Yeah, don't go spending that all in one place there, bud.
It was good doing business for you.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was thinking myself. Then you just turn and walk away.
Don't
Alright.
work too hard, Ernest.
So, I would like the three of you, now that you've gotten a bit of assistance, to give me another investigation check to see if you would know of any taverns on the North Bank.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
I don't know
shit.
anything about
Natty 18
anywhere.
over here though.
Alrighty, so Rian,
Yep.
yet again kind of proving to be the brains, question mark, of the party.
Hey, a question mark? What the hell?
Proving to be the luck
It-
of the party.
It does occur to you, now that he actually mentions, like, a tavern on the North Bank, the closest one to the tower, to the host tower that you're standing out in front of, would be a place called One-Eyed Jack's.
Ooh, I like that name.
It'd be... Let's see if I can ping it. Can't ping it. Let's do a rule... Oh, wait. Huh?
Well, if you want to just hover over it, we can see it. Is that building right there?
Yeah, that building
Okay,
there.
cool.
I'm telling you
like-
that we need to go to Dragon Beach.
No, I've been to this place before. I've seen it.
Aye.
It's just across the bridge from Blood Island. It's right on the right as soon as you pass over. I've been there a couple times. Trust me on this one.
I say we go to the tavern.
Yes, that's where we're heading. We're gonna go to One-Eyed Jack's, and this is where we're gonna. I believe if anywhere we're gonna find some information, it'd be there.
Well, I suppose I'm outvoted.
Alrighty. So, Rian, you would know, as you're able to explain to the others upon your approach,
Mm-hmm.
One-Eyed Jack's is sort of this hip, new, upscale public place. It's become a popular gathering point for wealthy adventurers and foreign socialites.
Oh.
And upon arriving at this tavern, you enter and see a person that can only be your client. You find yourself looking amidst all the wealthy and middle-class patrons that are there drinking.
Mm-hmm.
A short, stubby, dressed in fine armor, green, scaly-skinned person. This creature does not look like any dragonborn you've ever seen before, nor do they look like a lizard folk. It is a very distinctive body shape where there is no tail. This figure, upon your entry, looks in your direction and waves cheerily, and you smell a faint scent of lemon drifting your direction.
Now, I think I'd turn to the other two and be like, okay, this is actually a nicer place. I need you to be just a little bit on your best behavior.
This tavern looks like shite.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would kind of get a feeling that Grin would be okay here. I'd look at Krellick and be like, just no hammers, no threatening
Grin just
people or
kind of
nothing. Just
quirks a brow and looks your armor up and down. Whatever you say.
like, what? This happens to be the most fashionable armor. And no, kidding. So yeah, then I think we'd make our way over to this thing, and I definitely would kind of raise an eyebrow to the smell of lemons randomly wafting over to me from now all of a sudden that I've seen this guy.
So as you get closer, this figure does not say anything, but they do motion with both hands kind of spreading broadly towards the few empty chairs at the table they're sitting at. Getting a little closer, on being able to inspect this person, you would judge that they stand about 4 feet 10 inches tall. Probably weigh maybe 150 pounds with dry, wrinkled hide instead of scales.
Little guy.
Yeah.
As you get closer, that smell of lemon increases, and it almost seems to coincide with the broad smile across their face.
So
Whoa, what does that smell?
yeah. Just don't worry. I'll handle this one. So you are you dragon bait?
He nods in affirmation, and the scent of lemon is accompanied now. He makes this whistling, clicking noise that is it's incomprehensible. And there's a faint whiff of tar that combines with the lemon now as he nods.
Can I do any type of insight or anything to try to figure out what the hell he is?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an insight check on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I'm just like, what? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in
He
Predator.
seems like some sort of lemon elemental.
For the sake of the recording, Rion rolled a 3. Lemon elemental.
Yep, that's what he is. Yep. He's some type of smelly thing. Huh.
Well said.
Yeah.
As you say
You're a smell-manator.
that, as you say that aloud, that lemon scent fades, as does the scent of tar. And there's a faint whiff of baked bread, and it seems to accompany a little furrowing of his brow, as if in anger.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend, but it's just I was confused. I was trying to figure out what to place you. I guess I couldn't place you, but anyways, we're from the Luskar. Luskar? Is that what it is?
Luskar delivers.
Luskar delivers. We're here to pick up a package to deliver for you, I believe.
And he nods and seems to reach down and pat something in the chair beside him. But before he hands it over, he starts gesticulating wildly as if trying to explain something to you. Motions to Rion, and then to Krellick, back and forth between the pair of you, and then motions to himself and the empty chair beside him. Back and forth, and then back to the pair of you.
So, you want one of us to sit down?
You want me to sit over there?
He shakes his head,
Okay.
and there is that faint scent of now brimstone in the air.
Okay. I'm not really feeling you as far as what you're looking for, bud. Can... and I think I'd look to Grin. Like, do you have any idea?
He's just looking at him curiously. He's trying to figure it out. Maybe there's something going on with it's bothering him that he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, it's... I mean, outside of it, obviously it's some type of creature that, communicates through smells / scent / pheromone or something like that. But it's just like... But yeah, with a 3 insight. Rian sure as hell doesn't know that. He's just like, this thing stinks weird.
The insight check you had originally asked to try and determine what he was.
Mm-hmm.
So, while you don't know his species, where he might come from, I will allow that if you do understand what he is trying to convey, you are free to utilize that.
Okay. Well, yeah. So brimstone obviously means wrong. Lemon, I guess zesty. That means like welcoming, I guess. And
Baked bread was angry.
yeah, bread. Yeah, what was bread? Bread was when
Angry.
was
He
that was
started
angry?
getting mad.
What was it was lemon and tar though for I asked about what I don't remember exactly what I asked that time when the tar popped in. But anyways,
I think Grin might speak up at this point.
okay.
Can,
Yeah, be like, go please, go
can
ahead.
you not speak?
In response to that, he makes a series of high-pitched whistling sounds and clicks. That scent in the air turns to one of roses, and his expression droops sadly.
Take that as a no. How about right? And he kind of mimes writing in the air.
He reaches for, amidst his pack on his sort of waist belt there, he seems to be having a satchel slung over one shoulder. Extricates a notepad, a quill, and a little jar of ink.
Wonderful.
Unscrews the jar, takes his ink, attaches the nib, dips it into the bottle of ink, make sure that there isn't a bunch running
Of
off
course.
it, and spends a good 30 seconds scratching something onto the paper.
Yeah.
When he turns the parchment around to show you, it is completely incomprehensible.
Nice. That's, of course it is.
It's like, yeah.
But like,
That helps.
oh, of course. No, I could
That helps a lot.
Sweet. Yeah, I'd just kind of be like, oh yeah, no problem. Okay, it's sweet. Why don't you give us the box and we'll get it taken care of for
I
you.
don't know where it's going, Rian.
As you say, you don't know where it's going. That smell of roses is again replaced with a burst of lemon and tar scent, and he nods very enthusiastically and points at you, Felgrin. Like, yes, this person gets it.
Okay.
And he again motions between you and Krellick, and back and forth, and then includes Felgrin in the mix, motioning to you together,
Okay.
and then motions to himself separately, and the empty chair beside him.
So, you need us to take that to someone who should be sitting there. Huh?
He nods, yes, lemon and tar.
Ah, okay. Okay. Lemon and tar. I would kind of look to him and be like, do those scents help me with the name of who you're looking for?
And he shakes his head,
Okay. No.
and there's just that little hint of rose now.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. We'll get there, buddy. Don't worry. We'll get there. This is it's like a miracle worker.
He looks between the trio of you,
Wah, wah.
and seeing that you are a half-elf, his eyes briefly dart to your ears, he stands and, sort of like motioning silently as if like, do I have permission to touch you?
Like,
Goes to cover your ears
mhm.
and then look to the others and then take his hands away and then place the hands back and look to the others to see if they get...
Okay. Not
It's
an
going
elf.
to a human?
So a human.
He nods, yes, lemon and
Okay.
tar.
Human, that narrows it down.
Yes. Oh, okay, give us the package. We got it now. No kidding.
I'm trying to find a way to do this without being crass, but I'm afraid it's not possible. My patience is running thin. He kind of gets the guy to look him in the eyes, and then he slowly points to Rian's genitals.
It's like, it just kind of like looks at you like with just the look of, what the fuck?
Careful, it might be a fireball.
So, his head cocks to one side,
Yeah.
and there's a faint scent of brimstone, and now there seems to be a faint whiff of honeysuckle added in there. But then something clicks, and he nods.
Okay, so we're looking with a human who has a penis.
Yes, you could say male. I mean, I know we have now covered, I think, all the males that we... but at least all the spellings of males to this point.
That's true.
But
So, with his parchment and his inkwell still on the table, Dragonbait motions to the ink bottle, with its very dark color, and shakes his head. And then he motions to the parchment, which is a very cream color, very, very pale, obviously bleached, and thumps both his hands down on it and nods.
okay, so it's a white.
Well, a white guy? Like Rian?
Yep, a white male.
He motions to his hand, and with one clawed hand, sort of with his index finger, wraps one of his fingers with his index finger, as if there's something on it.
Married? Oh.
And his head kind of bobs from one side to the other, and there's a faint whiff of brimstone, kind of thinking it over. Ultimately shakes his head, but does kind of nod as if you'd gotten part of it.
He wears jewelry.
Nods, and there's lemon and tar scent in the air.
Is he a jeweler?
What was the question?
So he was a jeweler.
Shakes his head at that.
Is he a noble? Like a lord of some sort?
Shakes his head, but what he does do is he makes the motion of the ring on his finger, and then puts his arms to either side of him, as if hugging himself, and makes a shivering motion. And then makes the motion of the ring on his finger, and again does the shivering motion.
Ring on the finger, shivering
A
motion.
magic ring?
He nods, yes.
Okay.
Having to do with some sort of cold?
He nods, yes. Lemon and tar.
Okay. So who we're looking for has a magic ring,
Seems like.
or we're delivering a magic ring?
He motions to himself with the clawed hand and shakes his head, and then motions to the empty chair beside him and nods and makes the cold ring motion again.
Okay, so he has a cold ring. So we're looking for someone who has some type of magical, like, elemental ring.
He nods, yes.
Okay, I'm definitely taking notes on this.
So, on his paper, he now stretches out a fresh sheet, putting the one that he'd written upon to one side, and starts drawing a bunch of mountains at the bottom of the paper, and then very deliberately draws a single mountain by itself.
Is that where we'll find him?
And he nods,
Okay.
and very deliberately seems to motion towards, all the mountains together, and then the mountain by itself.
Okay. So a single mountain and Icewind Dale is where we need to take this. Okay.
And, when you finally sort of string that together, he reaches for the thing sitting on the chair beside him, and he hands you a small hand-carved box of teak hardwood.
Yeah, Grin would take it.
Alrighty.
Teak hardwood.
Slip it into his, one of his many pouches.
And all the scents around him fade, save that same scent of lemon and tar that he seems to associate with, like, the lemon scent seems to be happiness or joy. And, you're getting the vibe that tar is like a affirmative or
Gotcha.
some
Like
sort of
truth
victory
or-
scent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those scents are very strong now, to the point where people at other tables are looking over and kind of wrinkling their nose at the strange combination.
Calm down now.
People, calm down. Jeez. Oh,
The lemon won't hurt you. We will get this where it
So-
needs to go eventually.
this. I mean, it can't be that bad. I mean, there can't be a lot of people with an ice ring just hanging around in the north. Like, you know, seems like you'd have a fire ring if you were hanging around the north. But anyway.
He does give each of you 5 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Hey, you guys, go ahead and pay the man.
Uh-huh. Well,
Kidding.
this was illuminating.
That's a word for it.
It was something.
He just kind of gives a salute and turns to leave.
Alrighty.
We
So,
got there in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a
It was
little bit, but we
certainly-
got it.
certainly an interesting one. That was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Are you sure none of you rolled intelligence?
So,
I just... Man, yeah, no shit. I might just change up my character and play a wizard
There you
instead.
go. Problem
Just so you
solution.
have a modern problems require modern solutions.